Let's have a property tour, shall we? Brian LEBO here, and as DJ Khaled would once say, another one. So today we are doing another Blue Heron property, but today we're out at Stonewater. So this Abrir model we've actually shot before out at Shoreline, out in Lake Las Vegas. So today we're a little bit more in civilization. Now, while this is the exact same floor plan that we shot before, there's a lot of changes to this one and a lot of textures and a little bit of new design that Blue Heron is incorporating. So let's see some of the changes, and then we'll kind of discuss the comparison between this show home as well as the show home that was out at Shoreline. So first off, we always start off with the kitchen. So let's talk about this island. So if you remember the Abrir model out at Shoreline, that was my favorite island that Blue Heron's ever done. Their signature of anything is called Vegas Modern, which is trademarked. So this is the Vegas Modern Island for this show home. So here's a little bit different. When we were out at Shoreline, it had that biophilic design where there was the river rocks that were inlaid into the island. It had a lot of different fabrication. I personally loved it. This is impressive, but very, very different. So starting off, we have this beautiful quartzite counter surface that you're gonna see in a moment in other places within the kitchen and within the family room. Great fabrication here on this 45-degree angle, which exposes some of the cabinetry. Now, these are functional cabinets that open where you can store, even though this is on the return side. And then at the very bottom of the floor, we have that smoked mirror that, oh, I love so much. But let's come on down a little bit farther. So one of the main things that is, let's say, controversial with Blue Heron is the biophilic design, which we'll discuss a little bit more, which is kind of bringing the outdoors indoors. Everyone loves that concept, but some people don't like having the rocks in the home. It's not very functional for some. I love it, but very controversial. The other part that's controversial is their design language when it comes to counter surfaces. They prefer a more European modern design with a natural edge. So unlike the monolithic slabs that we're used to, where you see like a 3-inch apron, here you see it's very, very minimal. Again, some people love it, some people hate it. A lot of people mention that it looked cheap. I don't agree. I think it's just a design language that either you subscribe to or you don't. But let's talk about cabinetry for a moment. So here we have a very nice neutral, kind of a light grayish brown, a grayish if you will. But we have nice TFL, so thermally fused laminate cabinetry in all of the high-end Blue Heron show homes and properties. Now over here, we have the built-in Thermador refrigeration with a 70-30 split. We can talk about appliances for a moment. So in Blue Heron's Nexus line of communities, you have basically 3 options for appliance packages. The base is Bosch. Then the mid-tier, which is this, is Thermador, which is pretty high-end everywhere except the world of Blue Heron. And then at the very top of the echelon is Gaggenau, which was in that Abrir model at Shoreline. And again, I'm gonna reference it in a moment, the creme de la creme of appliances, and really cool stuff there. So coming over here, we have a nice ample-sized pantry. Again, this is not a home for families. This is a home for retirees, for single people, more of a modern lifestyle, more of a minimalist lifestyle. And you'll see it's a smaller backyard, it's a smaller lot. It's a little bit more of an urban style living. Now over here, we have the built-in Thermador microwave, and then we also have the Thermador double ovens right adjacent next to it. Now, what's kind of neat about this island from this perspective is you have this elevation. So it's about a 6-inch elevation to the bar top stools. So, you know, keep your drinks, your food up there. But what's kind of neat is your prep area is recessed 6 inches below. So kind of just keeps the clutter to a minimum. I kind of like this stair step. But again, do you like the stair step, or is that a step backwards where we prefer one even surface? No right or wrong. This is just an interesting differentiation. Now, here's where we're going to talk about the appliances a little bit more. So first off, we have the 36-inch Thermador grill top range. And then above it, we have the matching 36-inch ventilation. Now, in the Gaggenau package, which is $35,000. So again, it's $35,000. This is the size, cost of a Tesla, basically. But if you really are a nerd about appliances like I am, what was super cool about that is instead of being a grill top, this is a grill top, it was a cooktop, meaning it's just on the top of the counter surface, but all of the range controls were it was so bespoke. They were built into the veneer of the cabinetry, and I just thought that just gave it such an elegant look. Absolutely love it. One other thing to discuss, and one of the differences is here you can clearly see the backsplash is matching the counter surface. So we have that same quartzite backsplash. It looks great, nothing negative to say about it. Now, I prefer the smoked glass, whether it's a gray smoked glass or the bronze, like rose-colored smoked glass. But typically that appears in the Blue Heron homes when you have a view. So out at shoreline, when you're on the water, when you're cooking and looking here, you're bouncing the image of the lake right off the backsplash. So if you have those views, that's typically when you'll see that mirrored backsplash. Whereas here, we just went with an elegant matching counter surface. Moving it down a little bit longer. Oh, we can't forget. You know the rule, guys, under $3 million, it's okay. Over $3 million, not okay. Here, we do only have one dishwasher, the Thermador dishwasher, paneled, built in, it's great, and we're under $3 million by like $5, I think, 5,000. But I do believe if you really care like I do, you can get a second dishwasher, and it's probably gonna go right here, which brings me to the next thing. Here we have a built-in Lavino temp. So here we have our wine refrigerator, perfectly fine, perfectly fine. However, I would probably put a dishwasher here, but I think it makes more sense for this wine chiller to come over down here. I don't know about you, but I think it looks a little bit better when you have the wine refrigeration out in the visible place. It's a little weird for me being here. Typically you see it behind the island when it's like a bar area. So if it's a dedicated bar, fine. I probably would have moved it down there. That's just me. Feel free to comment below. All right, again, just beautiful, beautiful fabrication. A lot of the quality of Blue Heron, you kind of have to actually be here in person to see. We'll point out some of the construction elements later, but beautiful. Of note, flooring, fantastic. Very neutral. We have a 24 by 48 inch large format porcelain tile throughout the entire main floor. Now, I was telling you earlier that there's a few changes to this compared to previous Blue Heron models. One of them is the Vegas Modern ceiling. I told you, trademarked Vegas Modern. Here, they went with, this is a new experiment. They haven't done this before. Part of the Vegas Modern ceiling are these singular coves that are above us. So instead of having some random pattern of recessed lighting and HVAC air registers, here they align all the HVAC as well as illumination into these singular coves. Typically they're painted black and they're very, very stark as far as contrast. That jet black with typically white ceilings, you notice it and it's definitely something to be seen. Here, I actually like that they went with a muted tone. So here, it's a medium gray that really fits the tone of this house. I think I'd like to see them do a little bit more of that design going in the future. Kind of neat. All right, now, coming down this area, clearly you can see modern living is all about that indoor, outdoor, like I said, biophilic in Blue Heron design language. Here we have a 20-foot long slider, very necessary if you're gonna create this modern indoor-outdoor experience. Seamless. The large format tile just seamlessly comes out into your outdoor living space. We have a beautiful, beautiful covered patio above us. This is about 9 feet high, so perfectly adequate. We have surround sound. The whole home was done by Acoustic Design. So you'll see later, the Control 4 system is the exact same system that Blue Heron used on their $34 million home. So like I've said many times before, what happens on their elite custom homes trickles down into their Nexus line. So you get the benefit of custom homes that have been built over years and years coming into this level. As we come out, we have more of an aggregate concrete, a nice outdoor seating area. And then let's talk about this pool for a moment here. So first, the jacuzzi. We have our Quattrofinity jacuzzi, which is not really a thing, but no one's ever told me what you should call this. Perfectly great size. I love the infinity edges. And then this is really useful. So we have a PebbleTech pool with a massive Baja shelf. So this is really nice. So you can sit here in your chaise lounges, have a little water on your back, feel a little comfortable. And now, we've mentioned it many times, we now have a limit of 600 surface area feet for pools. So this is a little bit less than 600 square feet, but you kind of get the idea. This is the new world that we're living in. But I actually really love what they did here. This is a small, small lot. It's just under 5,000 square feet. And honestly, this is all the pool you need. If you don't have children running around playing and, you know, swimming and doing crazy things, you don't need a huge pool. I only used my pool one time all last summer, and you pretty much, if you're by yourself or with one other person, you kind of just hang out and then you get bored. This is cool, ample size, and what I really like is because it's a smaller pool, it's gonna heat much faster. So if you do wanna use this pool in late September, you could. If you wanna use this pool right now, it's 70 degrees. You can heat this up and use it. Be a great day, and you can actually use it. Coming around this corner, we have just a little teeny poquito. We have this little teeny barbecue island. So this is like your outdoor cooking area. It gets the job done. Now, coming back inside the property, now we're in the family room area. And of note, this home is just under $3 million, but is being sold fully finished. And this has been done by Blue Heron's interior design team. They have a whole division of Blue Heron that's just for bespoke interior design. So all of this has been handpicked only for this show property, and gorgeous as it is. Now, let's talk about this media wall. Really neat. So we have the exact same quartzite that composes this media wall that we had on the counter surface and backsplash in the kitchen. And if you come over to this side, there's even an embedded LED light strip. So at night, I've been here for an event. It really, really looks cool. Now, below us, important to note, below us is a 72-inch linear fireplace, which we've seen a million times, but this is a gas one. So you may not think there's much of a difference, but you can kind of like 10x the price when you go to gas. So really, really nice. And I believe this is a Da Vinci 72-inch, so really neat. Now, another thing we're gonna discuss, what is old becomes new again. Travertine kind of died, and now it's come back, just reimagined. So over here, as part of the media wall, we have this contrast. So over here, we have a stacked travertine veneer, and we've seen this before in Blue Heron, but normally it's more of a natural travertine. So kind of think like a tannish color, really light tan and cream. This is more of a gray. So this is a little bit more of an industrial look, kind of ties in with the gray quartzite, but really, really like it and like how they're kind of switching it up. We're kind of blending the worlds between the gray that we were living in, and now we've had the California coastal. This is kind of like a hybrid of those two design languages coming together. Now, other than the island, the kitchen island that is, at Shoreline, my favorite part of this floor plan is this floating staircase. So clearly it's a dramatic floating staircase. I love that you have these windows open, probably a little less cool when you have a neighbor on the other side of the wall, but I do love the dramatic reveal when you walk here, especially at night. It really feels like you're walking into like a multi-million-dollar California beach house. Just a really unique look. There's nothing like this that exists in Las Vegas. But here we have the floating staircase. You can literally look up 3 stories and see the volume ceiling. So it is very dramatic, really functional, really neat. Now, this is what we were talking about. This is, the concept of biophilic design. We're at Stonewater, so there is a little lake here. So we're kind of saying that we have the river rocks, lake rocks, if you will. I prefer just a natural bed of rocks. This is a little bit much for me, so a little bit too much vegetation, but clearly they're trying to lushen up this space. So we have a water feature that we have turned off for noise, but we have this lush area underneath the stairs. Do what you will with it. I would probably keep it boring and just rocks, but I'm also not the interior designer, so rock on. Coming down here, this is the powder bathroom that your guests are going to use. So here, it's a little bit toned down from what we saw before. So my favorite is this pivot sink. Absolutely love the fabrication. So same counter surface that we've been seeing in a pivot sink implementation. We have the Brizzo faucet. Typically everything Blue Heron does are Brizzo for the fixtures. We do have the smoked mirror here, and this is more of a rose gold color with embedded LED lighting, the same TFL cabinetry, and then the same stack stone travertine. This is a little bit different. These are more tiles and a little bit thinner in the stack than we had at the media wall, but really, really nice, really ample. And this is a little toned down from what we had, I believe, at the Shoreline one. Now, really neat, if you are a retiree and you're looking at the clock going, my knees only have about 5 years left in them, which I got about 25 years left, but that's about it. Really neat. Instead of having to worry about the stairs, you can stay here in perpetuity because we do have an elevator. So this elevator will go up all 3 flights, so you're good to go. And then finally over here, we do have the control system. So this will control all of your HVAC, your lighting, your audio. Again, this is the exact same system that is in the $34 million Blue Heron flagship VM1. So kind of neat that you're getting the same quality, the same features in a $34 million home at about 1/11th of the price. All right, guys, we've seen the entire downstairs. We've seen the backyard. Now let's go to the second floor because that's where the primary is located and see what's going on up there. All right, guys, now we are on the second floor. So this was where we came up the stairs, and then clearly behind me, you can see these are the stairs leading to the third floor. But first, we're gonna start off in the primary. Behind the camera are 2 secondary bedrooms, which we'll get to in a moment. So first off, below my feet is long plank luxury vinyl laminate flooring. So your second and third floor are gonna consist of this luxury vinyl as opposed to the large format tile we saw on the main floor. Now, here we are in the primary suite, but we're first gonna start off in the bathroom and then work our way back in here. One thing to note, all the doors in this entire home are all solid core doors. So again, you wouldn't appreciate or know unless you were physically here and physically manipulated these doors to see the weight, but more expensive. Now, coming into the Vegas Modern bathroom, love the Blue Heron bathrooms. And this one is so similar to the bathroom that was at Stonewater. Difference being Stonewater, again, you are on the water. So what I love, which we've discussed ad nauseum, is the smoked mirror here. It makes a little bit more sense when you're at Stonewater or at Shoreline because you're reflecting that view from the actual lake, where here you don't really have those views. But again, having that reflection opens up this bathroom, and that's part of the reason you'll see on this side, we have a glass partition. So while you're in this bathroom, it doesn't feel like you're closed in at all because you can actually physically see into the bedroom space and outside. So it really expands this space without having to physically expand the walls. All right, coming down, now we transition to kind of a different aesthetic. Again, with the rose-colored smoked glass, now we have a little bit of a warmer surface. So instead of having the gray quartzite that we had downstairs, now we start to warm up the tones a little bit up here. And this reminds me a lot of that property, the Abrir model at Shoreline. But we have a gorgeous pivot sink. We got the Brizzo hardware, just fantastic. But let's talk about the shower because it's a little interesting. So we come into the shower, again, very natural, very nice. But over here to your left, we have the body wash with the valve control. And where it gets a little weird is over here. Let me know your thoughts on this. For some reason, they put 2 shower heads right next to each other. I don't know if you just want to be overwhelmed with water. I don't know if you and your partner are gonna shower back to back. I don't know. To me, if I were customizing this home, I would probably do 1 shower head and then have a rainfall shower head above me. That's kind of the typical setup. So I'm not sure what they did this for, but kind of interesting. I'd like to hear the design philosophy behind it. And you guys let me know, is there something that I'm missing? Do you like this, or would you rather have kind of the more conventional rainfall shower head? All right, I always mess this up and I'm proud of myself. Ashley didn't have to remind me to go this way. So coming down this hallway, over here we have the water closet, not super exciting. We have our linen closet here, but what is exciting is this closet. This closet is gorgeous. So we have a custom closet. We have the matching TFL cabinetry that we've seen throughout the home. And typically when you buy these properties, they come with, I would say, a shell. So normally where the closet is located, it's actually just gonna be 4 walls, and it's up for you to hire the company to do the design. Here, it's already been done. Now over here behind me, this is your HVAC controller. So this is hidden in the closet. You don't really have to listen to it. So pretty nice. All right, now let's come back. Now let's check out the actual sleeping quarters. So we go from the large format tile back down to the luxury vinyl laminate. And then let's talk about this media wall. So again, we have a much warmer tone in the quartzite that comprises this media wall. And then we have the same stacked travertine that we had downstairs in that media wall. So kind of interesting juxtaposition where we're kind of bridging that gray tones with the warmer tones up here, whereas downstairs we had the gray stacked travertine with the gray quartzite. Just a little different. Now, love, love, love. So much natural light We have large windows here. And now I'm not the biggest fan of balconies off of primary suites. They're a romantic idea, but typically you're gonna use the first week and have romantic dreams of sipping your espresso on the balcony, and then you never do it after the first week. Here, I'm actually a big fan. And the reason I'm a big fan of it is having this balcony here allows you to have this 12-foot long slider, and it just opens up this space. This becomes a really wonderful, wonderful living space. So if you are the kind of person that spends a lot of time in your primary suite, you're gonna love this. And again, if you didn't have the balcony, you couldn't have this pocket door because then you'd be plummeting to your death the second you opened it. But really, really neat, gorgeous views on a gorgeous day. Finally, a balcony that I can get behind. All right, let's come down this direction and let's check out those two secondary bedrooms that I alluded to earlier. So again, we can see down to the entryway from here. These stairs lead up to the third floor. These stairs lead us down to the main floor. One thing I want to discuss, again, little things here. I love like gizmos and gadgets and technology. I love these new Lutron light switches. So here you can see this one says stairs and hall. So you know that if you hit this switch, it's gonna turn on the illumination for the staircase, and this switch is gonna illuminate the hallway. All throughout the house, you're gonna see all these switches are already denoted. I just think it's a really, really cool design feature, not to mention super, super practical. Over here, this is the cavity that houses the elevator shaft. So we're good to go there. And then let's check out this little laundry room. Again, this is not a family home. This is not a family home. This is a home for a single person, a couple, retirees. So we have an adequately sized laundry room. Nothing much to brag about. We have the new style LG all-in-one stackable washer dryer combo. Love, love. All right, coming down here, we have our first secondary bedroom. Not super sexy, not super exciting in any way, shape, or form. It's just a basic bedroom. You can see this is being used currently as an office for Blue Heron because this is their show home. So think of show home as model home, just a different vernacular. Yes, you're gonna buy this home for just under $3 million, but you're also going to lease it back to Blue Heron for $14,000 a month for 1 year. There's also a 2 6-month extensions. So in theory, this could be rented for $14,000 a month for 24 months or as little as 1 year. Again, here we have another secondary bedroom. Nothing sexy, nothing super exciting, just Stonewater, a Nexus community. So enjoy that marquee. All right, now let's check out the bathroom that services these two. Large format tile that matches downstairs. Gorgeous, gorgeous shower. Love the 3D tile. I still like the 3D tile. But let's talk about this. When we're talking about 3D tile, look up here. Take a look at this fabrication. Now, to most of you, that doesn't look like anything worth discussing. But if you understand construction, this is a scalloped edge that's been mitered at 45 degrees. That's really, really difficult to do between breaking blades, destroying tiles right and left. 9 out of 10 builders are just going to use a Schluter for the edge because that's just going to be too difficult to fabricate. So again, substantial quality when you're getting a Blue Heron property. Over here, the same TFL cabinetry. We go to, instead of a pivot sink, now we have a normal undermount sink. Yeah, nothing too much going on there. All right, guys, now we have finished the first floor. We just completed the second floor. So let's go upstairs and let's check out the third floor because there's some really neat stuff hiding up there. All right, guys, welcome to the third floor, which is basically Funland, which you'll see in a moment. So first, we're gonna get some of the boring stuff out of the way. So clearly this is the staircase that we came up and there's nowhere to go over here. Over here to our right, this is just kind of a storage dumping area, not much really to see. This is our elevator shaft that houses the elevator to get up here to the third floor if you don't want to take the stairs. And then this is actually a full bathroom. So this, as you'll see in a moment, is actually set up to be a loft. Multiple uses for it, but in the event that you did need to make this into a bedroom for living spaces or you segregate a space, you do have a full bathroom. So pretty nice, right in line with everything else we've seen, a very nice, elegant secondary bathroom. Same luxury vinyl laminate floors, but let's check out this loft. Now, we're gonna talk a little bit more about this loft in a moment, but again, let's get rid of the boring stuff. So coming down over here, kind of neat, built-in wall subwoofer, but over here, this storage closet, it's a really large size closet, or again, if you were going to make this into a proper bedroom, you can make all of this into a closet. But this stores the brains of the system, all the smart panel, the Savant system, everything is housed in this one closet here. So now we're gonna whip around and let's talk about this bar. Now, again, this loft can be utilized many different ways. You can make this into a living quarters. I think that's probably the worst of the options. You can make it into this play area in its current incarnation, or like I would probably make this into like a viewing theater, other than all the natural light that you're getting in. If you could black it out, great for a theater. Now, I love what they did with this bar. So we have this gorgeous courtside bar and a little bit of a switch up here. So where we normally would have a waterfall return on this side, they kind of flipped it. So now it's a 90-degree pivot for the waterfall edge. Again, I like this. I think this is a cool look. We have that minimal apron over here. And then you gotta check off every single box. On this edge, we have our normal waterfall return. So you can see this waterfall when you're coming in from outside. Pretty neat. Now behind the bar, we have plenty of cabinetry. And this is kind of what I was talking about downstairs. So here we have our wine chiller / refrigeration. Here is just basic refrigeration. To me, it's totally fine to have the refrigeration hidden behind the bar when it's a dedicated bar area. Downstairs in the kitchen, I think it kind of looks a little bit better to have that on full display off to the side. But again, you guys tell me what you think. Now, over here, we have a nice 12-foot slider system. Not quite the paneled slider that we had downstairs, but still ample. But let's check out this area because this is pretty neat. All right, coming over here, this is kind of a weird one to me. You guys tell me what you think. I believe it's an option. It's probably an option I wouldn't personally choose, but nice counter surface. You have an undermount sink. You have additional refrigeration and some storage. To me, you have refrigeration. You got refrigeration 10 feet away from you. Don't know that I need refrigeration out here as well. It'd be one thing if you didn't have it. If you didn't have this bar option, then it makes sense because then you'd have to walk down 2 flights of stairs to get to the kitchen. So depends on what your plans are for it. In this setup, doesn't make sense to me, but depends on how you're using it. Clearly, if you're a golfer, you love this idea. This actually might be one of the most useful ideas for a rooftop deck. Really neat. And this is a huge area. So if you're having guys over to watch the game or something and you want to spill out here, the women are downstairs hanging out and they can watch what they're watching and go into the backyard. Really cool to segregate and have additional spaces. I love it. Now, we don't have a lake behind us, so it's kind of hard to beat shoreline, but we do have a beautiful walkway and a park. And again, this is the day that you would use it. It's like 65 degrees, it feels warmer. And really, this is when you would be using this rooftop deck. But guys, I am dying to hear your comments. What do you think in this compared to the same model that we saw over in Shoreline? Do you like the subtle changes that Blue Heron has invoked in this incarnation, or did you like it more over there? Again, special thanks to Blue Heron for allowing me to film all of their show homes. I genuinely appreciate it. It's a great company, top to bottom. If you are interested in building a Blue Heron, whether it's a custom or in their Nexus lines of communities, please reach out to me. I'll give you the entire scoop, make all the introductions, and curate your experience for you. Again, thanks Blue Heron. We'll see you on the next video. Click to subscribe, like the video, and we'll see you on the next property tour. Deuces.